What's going on? This is Kareem from DJBooth.net, and I'm here in the lab to give you guys a mini review, kind of first look and unboxing video of the brand new Pioneer DJM-S11 2-channel battle style DJ mixer. Now, this mixer wasn't such a surprise because we saw some of those leaks that came out a couple weeks ago, but I've had this in the lab since the time you've seen this for a few days now, and I'll have a full out review video for you guys within the next couple of weeks because I'm going to be holding on to this bad boy for sure. But we're just going to do a quick first look. We're going to set it up. It's going to be a little different than what we normally do on the channel. Usually we do just a quick unboxing and a first impressions and kind of just show you the device without actually plugging it in. But today we're going to plug it in, set it up, show you guys really quickly off the bat what I really like about it, what I don't like about it. But first, we're just going to get to the unboxing. This is the DJM-S11. This is the follow-up to the DJM-S9 that we have over here on the shelf. We're going to definitely compare the two as well. We might even set them both up side by side for this video so you guys can see what they look like side by side and what some of the layout changes and some of the other changes are within the S11. It is compatible with both Serato DJ and as well as Rekordbox DJ DVS platforms. As you can see right here off the bat, the box is nice and simple. Not too much verbiage on there, just the model name, number of the mixer itself. And you also see a nice, cool, colorful image of the mixer. All right, let's just get this bad boy out of the box. So some of the new updates to this mixer include, of course, the gorgeous colorful screen that you see there. They have bigger pads as well. It also has an upgraded Magvel Pro fader, and it also has different modes and different functions, different effects, more effects, the first 15 effects plus about 7 more effects that are added. So just a lot going on with this mixer, and we'll be able to touch on this a whole lot more when we do the full out review. So make sure you guys hit the thumbs up, make sure you guys subscribe right away, so that way you'll be here when we do the full out, all bells and whistles review. But right here we have your normal style power cable. Next up is a USB cable, nothing special, just the normal style USB cable here. And you get a quick start guide. And it looks like that's about it. Only thing left is the mixer itself. Alright, here she is, the big reveal. It's definitely a lot longer than the S9. It's bigger in some dimensions, right off the bat. Alright, the DJM-S11. The pads are obviously bigger. They might even be a little bit more responsive. You have that updated Magvel Pro Crossfader. Also have your nice line faders here. You have what feels to be the same paddles. So interesting they didn't kind of go with a metal style paddle, kind of like how the Rain did. Also they have the high res screen here. You have on the back a lot of inputs and outputs. You have your microphone here, your combo jack, along with your channel 1, channel 2, both phono and line. You also have 2 USBs. They're both 5-volt USBs on the back as well. Then you have your on-off switch, your power cable, of course, and you have 2 ground signal posts. You have an A and a B USB, so that way you can have 2 different users in here at the same time, or for easy changeovers. You have your booth TRS, you have a Master 1, which is XLR, and a Master 2, which is RCA. And on the front of the mixer, you have your microphone controls, your on-off switch. You have a mic echo on and off. You have a high EQ and low EQ along with the level. Next, you have your auxiliary level volume control. Then you have your channel 1 curve control, your channel 2 curve control, your feeling adjust for make that crossfader heavy or light. You also have your reverse controls here and your crossfader curve control along with headphones, which includes 2 jacks, both the mini and your standard 1/4 inch. So let's just plug this bad boy in and see exactly what we got under the hood of the DJM-S11. Alright, so really quickly, I want to show you guys a quick side-by-side between the S9 and the S11. S11, of course, is on the left. And with my gold limited edition DJBooth.net skin from 12-inch Skins, we made the S9 gold, so that is easy to tell them two apart. As you can see right off the bat, the S11 is longer in height. It also has bigger and squishier feeling pads than what's found on the S9. S9's pads were a little bit less give to them, and I like this give because it gives you some like nice response to it. Like it has like a feedback to it that actually makes your hand kind of bounce off of it, your fingertips, when they play them. So definitely a nice upgrade for the pads. They're bigger and they feel a little bit better as well. Of course, the pads also have a different pad mode here on the S9. The pad modes are shared between the two sides, your channel 1 and your channel 2. On the S11, you actually have the pad modes can be separated. As you can see here, we have the hot cue, pitch play, roll, slicer loop, saved loop, flip, saved, and the sampler and scratch bank areas. So you can change these independently on both of your channels, which is a huge plus. The paddles are actually very similar. They feel almost the same. You also have similar effects sections, but this time you actually have 7 more effects included in the beat effects section on the S11 than you do on the S9. We'll get into all those when we go through the review. And one of the major improvements on the S11 from the S9 is, of course, the screen, which, as you can see right now, is showing some waveforms. We'll dive a little bit deeper in that in a second. And also the layout. As you can see, the layout, the trim controls, the high, mid, lows, and the filters are all in a nice straight line, a straight row. And that's probably why they had to make the mixer a little bit higher, a little bit longer in height. Over here you can see you have the low, mids, and highs, then your trims and your filters are off to the side, and it's a little bit wonky, a little bit different than what we're used to on regular DJ gear. Over here it's more a little bit streamlined. You have your auto loops. They look very similar. Over here it starts with a 4-beat loop, but I'm pretty sure you can change that. Inside of the mixer itself you have a utility menu, and you can change the auto loop from 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, whatever you want it to be. And you also have your load prepare. Your load button is a lot bigger over here on the S11s. You can see them very nicely. They're a lot bigger, while the load buttons on the S9 are smaller. You also have a similar fader. The fader is a little bit smoother. It's hard to tell the difference because the Magvel fader is one of my favorite faders of all time here on the S9, and it just feels a little bit smoother here on the S11, and I'm sure it's going to be just as good, if not better. The cue sections are pretty much the same on them both. You have your sampler volume sections the same, except for this sampler section has a smooth echo that you can turn on at any time. So now we're just going to plug it in. We're going to plug in a turntable next to this, and we're going to see exactly what the DJM-S11 has to offer. All right, here it is, the Pioneer DJM-S11, and again, this is just a really quick look and quick walkthrough of it. We'll have the full out review video for you guys shortly. But right off the bat, the first thing that I notice is that the faceplate is nice and smooth. It has like a hardened metal finish to it, and it's not going to scrape up like the S9 did after extensive use of any of your crossfaders or your line faders. It also has really nice pads. These pads feel very good to the touch. They're very responsive, and I like that nice springy action that the pads have now, and they're bigger than before. They just feel better overall than what the S9 had. She wants it. Also, I was able to find within the screen section lots of new and cool hidden features, such as the ability to play channels 3 and channel 4. You can actually play those back from this mixer without any other controllers. You have a section in here that will show you the mixer section, and it'll also show you the play, pause button, and even your hot cues for your different tracks, either used on deck 3 or deck 4. We'll show you that in a second. But overall, after using this mixer itself, everything is just much more clean, much more simplified. I know exactly where my load buttons are because they're nice, big, and oversized. The browse knobs are by themselves. You know, they look like they're not hindered by anything else in the region, in the area. And it was easy to access my filter knobs, my low, mids, and highs. They're all really nicely laid out and really fit the mixer very well, and it just makes it a better overall use when you're using it than when you're using the S9. So let's go check out all the features that are hidden on that gorgeous screen. Alright, so as you can see, this is the screen section area. Right now we have the waveforms up, and you have these long waveforms in the side so you can see your whole track. If you press shift, you can then move through your track and land wherever you want in order to get to a certain section. You also have the nice multicolored waveforms here. You can see at the bottom really quick at a glance where your different effects are, and at the top you have your BPM, and you also have your key lock, and you also have the length of your current loop set up there as well. If we can go to a different section here, you'll see this is like basically your main home screen. Here you can browse through your different tracks here. You can also go to your FX settings. You have A, B, C, and D, so you have 4 different banks. So that means you can set these up in 4 different ways to have totally different effects on here, because remember, this mixer has 21 effects in it. You also can change your filter knobs and what they do. So you have filter, noise, pitch, dub, echo, wide filter, and your resonance to each one of them. And you can also have a mic echo here. You can also do your software FX selects from here as well. And everything is in here in order for you to change your effects. You can also go within the utility that comes with the computer software for the S11, and you'll be able to make changes to your mixer there as well. It's a little bit easier doing that on your big screen if you can before you go out and start playing. You have a touch MIDI section, and this will allow you to do different things for all of your decks right here on the touch screen of the actual screen itself. You can key up and key down and key lock here. You can also do beat sync, sync on and off, your key resets, silent cue here. You also have your play pause, so that way you can play right here. You can sync from right here without even using an extra turntable or any other sources. And then you have your different FX selections here as well. Next, you have deck 3 and deck 4, which we told you about earlier. Right now I have a song loaded in there, and as you can see, the waveform is here along with the whole track waveform, and you can play it right from here as well. And we have the same for deck 4 here. And then you can do a screen select section too, where you can have it in simple mode. You can have it in mixer mode, so that way you can change the channel faders and you can change the trim of the different decks that you have. So it just gives you another area to where you can have 2 more decks playing while you have your 2 other decks playing as well. Next, you have your touch effects section, and this would allow you to enact an effect in the little touch strip, just similar to what they used to be like on the DJM-909 back in the day. You have your touch effects settings here, selected effects, echo, filter, pitch, roll. We'll go through all of this again when we get to the full out review video, but that is a quick rundown. We also have the menu utility section where you can change the performance of the crossfader, the loop options, pad mode options. Just so much going on here, folks. You have your mic. My mic setting is locked because I'm actually using the mixer, so you can change that. You have your waveform different functions here, your browse display settings. Just so much that you can do within your utility sections as well. So that was a really quick first look at the DJM-S11. Really dope mixer. We're going to get into it a lot deeper when we do the full out video review. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up so you know exactly when videos like this one are coming out. And as always, thanks for watching.